Hi, this is Arthur, and this is a summary and explanation of Chiori's story quest released in the game Genshin Impact version 4.5. The Traveler and Paimon are walking around Fontaine during Fontaine's Fashion Week when they bump into Chiori helping a customer. Chiori is the owner of the clothing store Chiori Boutique. After the satisfied customer leaves, they chat about Fashion Week. Chiori explains all designers in the court of Fontaine participate in Fashion Week to show off their brands. Chiori will also participate and is waiting on a shipment of fabrics from Inazuma. Just then, Kirara arrives and delivers the fabrics. Kirara says along the way she was attacked by some bandits asking for Chiori's delivery. Luckily, Kirara defeated them and turned them over to the authorities. One of the bandits blurted out that someone named Uther hired them. Chiori knows Uther and has dealt with him before. Uther is another fashion designer who has repeatedly harassed Chiori. Chiori leaves and the Traveler goes after her. The Traveler catches up to see Chiori talking to Chevreuse. Chiori asks Chevreuse to come with her and they head over to Uther's place. Once there, Chiori goes inside, throws Uther out of the building, and threatens him for what he did to Kirara. They then head back to Chiori Boutique and tell Kirara what happened. Chiori says she spoke with Chevreuse and will speak with Navi about getting protective escorts for Kirara's trip back to Inazuma. The Traveler and Paimon then volunteer to come back the next day and model clothes for Chiori. The next day they come back and learn Kirara left with protective escorts thanks to Navia and Chevreuse. They get to helping Chiori work on new outfits when a customer arrives. The customer asks to cancel her order without much explanation and Chiori agrees. Unfortunately, this was the first of many dissatisfied customers who are demanding refunds. Turns out the newspapers have published articles saying Chiori Boutique has close ties to criminals. Just then, Chiori's assistant Elof reports the suppliers and models they plan to use during Fashion Week have pulled out. Chiori leaves to speak with a supplier with the Traveler following behind. They head over and speak with a supplier named Wenger. Wenger explains someone paid off the tabloids to all publish the article defaming Chiori. They then paid for a copy of the tabloids to be left in front of every house in the court of Fontaine. What made the article especially damning was a photo taken yesterday of Chiori beating up Uther. Wenger says that because this article successfully combines facts with rumors, that the damage from it will not go away overnight. Wenger says he will not work with Chiori during Fashion Week due to the negative publicity and advises her to drop out of Fashion Week altogether. They say goodbye and bump into Charlotte. Charlotte explains that while the Steambird did not publish the article, not everyone has the Steambird's integrity. Incensed by the false article, Charlotte intends on writing a counter-article to combat the false claims. Suddenly, Chiori disappears. They fail to find her and head back to Chiori Boutique. Once there, they meet Letitia, who is here to thank Chiori. Letitia is a longtime fan of Chiori's and dreamed of wearing one of her dresses for her wedding. However, due to money problems, Letitia could not afford the full price of the dress. After learning this, Chiori sold the dress to Letitia at a substantially discounted price. Charlotte asks Letitia if she could interview her for the counter-article and Letitia agrees. Elof then says that Chiori probably went to a secluded cliff she often goes to whenever she needs to think. The Traveler heads over and finds Chiori, who talks about her life. Chiori was a rambunctious child who was always interested in fashion. Chiori's parents tried to find her a master to train her, but her rambunctious nature chased them all away. That's when Chiori swore to create a world-renowned brand of her own one day. Chiori then came to Fontaine and started her business. With renewed enthusiasm, the group decides to look for evidence against Uther's article. Chiori says they should start looking at Uther's factory. Chiori also says she will participate in Fashion Week and that a successful show will help rebuff the false claims. Suddenly, Chiori jumps into the sea. The Traveler follows after her and they collect some seashells. Chiori says she intends to use these shells as accessories. They head back to Chiori Boutique where they make all new outfits for Fashion Week. Just then, Navia shows up and offers some skilled hands to help construct the outfits. Chiori then asks the Traveler to contact Linny and Lynette for help with something. Before the Traveler leaves, Charlotte also pops up to help. The Traveler heads over to Linny and Lynette and they agree to help. Paimon mentions that Chiori asked not to be disturbed for 2 days as she works on her designs. 2 days later, the Traveler meets with Chiori outside Uther's factory. Chiori says her outfits are mostly done. They head inside Uther's factory and discover the conditions are disgusting and the quality of the clothes substandard. They collect evidence of these things and continue on. Along the way, Chiori explains she and Uther used to be partners. They both dreamed of making meaningful clothes. However, each criticism and rejection they received affected Uther. Then, right before Fashion Week, Uther gave up and they parted ways. Chiori didn't give up and entered Fashion Week, winning the acclaim of all of Fontaine for her designs. After that, Chiori opened Chiori a boutique and Uther's been harassing her ever since. They eventually reach an exit when Uther shows up with some mechanical guards. Paimon threatens Uther with the evidence of the substandard conditions and Uther says he will not let them leave. Chiori and Uther then argue where Chiori says fashion is about pursuing an ideal while Uther says fashion is just another form of public opinion. Uther says that once Chiori boutique falls, the public will learn what a laughable ideal fashion is. Chiori then tells the traveler to head to the Fashion Week venue and tell them to proceed with the show. Chiori will deal with Uther. The traveler agrees and we cut to the fashion show. Navia, Kirara, Linny, and Lynette model for the show and Chiori somehow shows up as well. After the successful show, they head back to Chiori boutique. Chevreuse shows up and delivers an apology from Wenger. Chiori also mentions that Uther was tied up and delivered to the authorities. Navia then invites everyone to a celebratory meal, but Chiori says she wants to speak with the traveler first. The traveler and Chiori meet on the secluded cliff from before where Chiori gives her a brooch. Chiori thanks her for her help and the two share a moment before heading to Navia's celebratory feast. And that is the end of this quest in this video. If you like what you've seen here, please like, comment, and subscribe.